Round. We're into match 9 though, of course. Vandal9, speaking of 9, has been knocked and should be finished off by Seiryu Esports tNial. Not an ideal start here for Eagle365, but still at the conclusion of this particular match, it will be, what, 3 games to go? So there's not really room for error here if you're the likes of Eagle365 that have not found a win, but have got some kills, right? They've got 38 kills coming into this game, tied with Daytrade for the best teams with kills that don't have a win. So all
loot box on its way down, but not going to make his way over towards it. Seiryu are already there, so they...
For day 1. So far here for day 2, though, they've been involved. They've got the win. You know, they had that 6th place finish and 3 kills in the first match. Now you've got a win. So things be in a position where they can take a fight here against the Colony. And Colony as well, vice versa, probably shouldn't be sticking around for too much longer. But ArkAngel Predator as a team definitely need to turn things around here in this match. They are actually treading some unfamiliar territory, close to now being in the bottom 4. They're in the bottom 5, actually. At the moment, this phase 1 circle, if it does go south, then the teams like Made in Thailand, Colony, ArkAngel, UNP, 36 Cartel, all will have a long distance to traverse, and it does indeed go south. So my point is made. They've got a long way to go to get to this phase 2 circle. Seiryu Esports in a good spot as well. Fury, Game Home. The teams that were down to the south, very... And they can go over towards Sunshine and dNial. MSC, though, also with a similar rotational path. In fact, they go straight to the compound. Sunshine, though, waiting at the front entrance. We'll get that knock onto Julio. Venotica from above actually gets a little bit of help there onto MS Chibiritt. Rogue says, thank you very much for the damage, but I'll take it from here. They go for the smoke onto Julio as well. Venotica still just being a pain here, a nuisance, as this fight will continue between Seiryu and MS Chibiritt.
5 hit points on Skeet. That grenade might just be close enough. It is. 33 damage is more than enough to take him down. The second not quite close enough for the flush, but just there for good measure, just to make sure that Skeet was not going to survive that little barrage. Jowman to peek around the side. Can't quite find the angle around the box to get the damage onto tRycK. He will back away, but How's grenade securing the death of Skeet. It's a bit of a 1-for-1 in the compound so far, and it's not a big one to share. I mean, we spoke about it on ArkAngel, how, yes, there is some compounds where you can fit 2 teams. This is certainly not one of them.
Certainly not, and they're not going to be friendly with each other either. Nade in from Rogue. Not going to find anyone, though, in the little outhouse. tRycK goes to see if he can peek the angle, but he can't find anything. And maybe it just stalls for the time being, momentarily. No more nades here for tRycK. He's still got 4 smokes. How tRycK and dNial versus Julio, Rogue, and Jowman. A proper 3 versus 3. That little area for the time being. I'm now expecting at some point for it to kickstart as soon as we go away. Of course it does. Rogue gets the knock onto tRycK, and he's not going to be able to get revived. It's just too chaotic in this area. How has to watch the angle here and watch. Evidently he does. I did mention whether or not Daytrade would still be watching this area, and it is indeed true. Venotica found the knock. That's going to be able to buy time here for Seiryu Esports to just sort of gather the troops a little bit, push onto this area. dNial, he just goes for the swing. There's the trade though from Julio, but How comes in from behind. He gets Julio. Now suddenly a 1 versus 1, although coming in on through. Poochills gets How. Seiryu Esports say sayonara.
Rognan's my guardian angel from his Thai brethren up on the hilltop as, man, you know what? I can be your angel or your devil, as says Venotica, as he's almost immediately on his way across. He knows exactly how many dead players that there are here and how many should remain. It's Rognan's Mai. He has picked up the level 3 gear, though, off the body, and he's putting up a bit of a battle against Venotica. Rognan's Mai, young player, extremely cracked, but a 1v4 against Daytrade is maybe a bridge too far to try and make, but let's see what he can make of it at the very least. This compound in particular is a tough one to try and push. There's a lot of cheeky angles that you can take, and you can make it a bit of a difficult maneuver to have to try and push this even as a 4-man. So let's see whether he's able to put anything up.
I'd still rather be the 4-man though in this situation. He peeks out, he gets the knock onto Venotica. Does he go for the flush though to be a pain? No. He backs himself into the corner. Rogue is eliminated by Flash, who continues to add to his tally of kills. I think it was like about a 42-43% kill proportion for his team, and there's yet another one for Flash having a really good PCS event. CJ going for a dip into the water. As Chibiritt's going to find Shin V and will be able to get that elimination through Jekzy confirming the kill for Eagle365. That's a very slow-moving vehicle. Y8 and Smell somehow, though, not taking any damage. Bit of help from the smoke, and they're able to maybe get away here with their lives intact.
Colony making a move as well. You can see them just on the very tip of the minimap, making their way up in behind the Colony. And it looks like, well, it's Unicorn Phoenix. If they're going towards a team, they're going to fight them. Alec gets caught out. Dat Blue dealing the damage with the barrel, drops him as well. And another follow-up onto Kalbs as well. It is not going well for the Colony. And Easy, they might just escape one threat straight into the face of another as Baonam Simon T peeks up over the top. Can't get the trade back. Y8 will just dip down onto the ridge. Oh, the headshot. Where did that even come from? I have no idea, but it wasn't. It was Belmoth who actually secured that as well. So denied the flush, but man, it was close.
AljnBOTz knocked down. Unfortunately for ArkAngel Predator, they get pushed on and aggressed by Cerberus. By the way, with 40 seconds until phase number 4, this has suddenly turned into a rather aggressive Miramar. sSuspekT getting some damage in. Cerberus, of course, now just trying to pepper the area along with Sharper and ArkAngel Predator. Unfortunately, the sort of main targets in this area.
Gone full in for the full aggressive send, but you've got to be near this hilltop because this zone is going to be happening.
It's week 1
as
all
soon
over
as
again.
phase 4 is in effect, you've got to get rid of the water. You know that this is, I mean, it's the algos, right? You've dropped the handshake emoji. You know, we've seen this sort of zone quite a few times across all of the PCS regions, and typically it's the south side of the hill that does being the end game position, and so you need to be close to it. And it's difficult to try and push up the hill now with, like you say, surrounded by all of these teams. So Fury playing a little bit more of that passive style, but in a decent position to creep their way in when it gets to the ultra late game. Unlike Made in Thailand, who it looks like they're not going to be making it anywhere close to the end game so far, just completely obliterated from all angles. Escalucia and Duckmans find themselves a little ridge, not even a ridge, like a
crevice.
What is that? A nook, a cranny, something like that? Is that too British? Are we putting the UK words in here?
I've never heard of cranny before, so yeah, probably is at that point. But look, yeah, we've seen this circle twice before already in just APAC alone, so you would think the teams kind of know how they're going to adjust to it. You know, Sharper already sort of highlighting the way they're playing the top of this hill. They're not sitting in the compound. They're extending out of it, making sure it's very difficult for teams to push onto their bowl position. So you're controlling the top of it. Ykikamucow, what a headshot onto Cherry. He says hello and goodbye to his OCE brethren. Unfortunately for 36 Cartel, day 2 so far here for week 2, shaping up a little bit like their day 1. Just not quite getting any luck to go there. Why, that is just not fun if you're Asba. How does he get knocked from that distance by Gems? I think he was maybe even inside of the smoke as well. He's dead. He's out of it. He's going to get caught by the blue or the bullets. It's both. Attack all around, find their first kill of the game. And it's now 1 minute and 5 seconds until phase number 5, and we kind of sense it should continue on top of this mountain. Does he suspect that Game Home have got the position behind him? Disgusting doesn't take the shot, though. Allows him to go through. Maybe something to do with the smoke. Blocking the angle, though, and he just runs for it so he can get back and heal safely with his teammates.
And 36 Cartel, it's been a gauntlet for them to even make it this far, but they've still got a long way to go. They have to get past Game Home to even think about making it into this zone. And with that Molotov placed just where it is, Player 4 has nowhere to go, but likely back to the lobby. sSuspekT now with a 1v4 to try and deal with, to even keep his team's chances of making it anywhere whatsoever. He can land a couple of shots, but it's not going to be enough. There's too many players just peeking the same angle,
look,
and Game Home will wipe it up.
Box.
And there it is. Tinoy. Well, you know what? He's already wiped out Fludd. He got the knock. He got the grenade as well to follow it up. And now he's just going to upgrade the weaponry and the armor as well. Love it.
Don't you always just love gifts like that, don't you? Unicorn Phoenix, a team that's gone a little bit quiet to a degree. Belmoth. He's already hit a couple of headshots this game. Another one to tRycK from that sort of distance as well. Sharper, of course, controlling the top of this hill. I think both times that we've seen this circle, the team that was at the top wasn't able to win the game. We'll see if they can sort of buck that trend a little bit. They're playing it well, that's for sure. Himas. Nade is able to just go over the shoulder of Evil Patrick as, of course, ArkAngel Predator Not looking too crash hot at the moment.
What?
That was right on top of his head. That's a knock. That's probably going to be the finish. Mad Dog, the last one alive for ArkAngel Predator, and he's most definitely not long for this world. Goes down to Young B, doesn't even die to the blue. Now we look at 36 Cartel getting aggressed upon by Game Home. They've got the numbers here. Disgusting is low though. sSuspekT, does he suspect that Game Home have got the position behind him? Disgusting doesn't take the shot though. Allows him to go through. Maybe something to do with the smoke. Blocking the angle though, and he just runs for it so he can get back and heal safely with his teammates.
And 36 Cartel, it's been a gauntlet for them to even make it this far, but they've still got a long way to go. They have to get past Game Home to even think about making it into this zone. And with that Molotov placed just where it is, player 4 has nowhere to go, but likely back to the lobby. sSuspekT now with a 1v4 to try and deal with, to even keep his team's chances of making it anywhere whatsoever. He can land a couple of shots, but it's not going to be enough. There's too many players just peeking the same angle,
look,
and Game Home will wipe it up.
box.
And there it is. Tinoy. Well, you know what? He's already wiped out Fludd. He got the knock. He got the grenade as well to follow it up. And now he's just going to upgrade the weaponry and the armor as well. Love it.
Don't you always just love gifts like that, don't you? Unicorn Phoenix, a team that's gone a little bit quiet to a degree, Saga, but they're in a decent position based off of the way the circle's sort of playing out here. And as we know, late in the game, they've almost got that sort of Fury mentality. They win fights. They win them quite comfortably. Definitely more so in week 1 than, say, week 2, but they've been able to sort of highlight their prowess at being able to find kills. The biggest downfall for them has been sort of the early parts of the games, right? Rotating and losing players in those rotations. You've got 4 alive. We've gone past the 20-minute mark. Now show us what you've got. Show us that week 1 prowess. And they're in a good position. And I'm very much expecting to see UMP sort of light up the kill feed later on.
Yeah, and if they do make the push towards the southern side, they could start off by wiping out BN United. And again, there's a lot of people in the lobby who would thank them for it, no doubt. I'm actually just looking at the position of that loot box and thinking, how in the world does he get away with making that run and get back up without being absolutely slaughtered by... That's just going to be that extra little bit of a boost to bolster the defenses when they do eventually have to defend the push on that compound. Momonjii, how... Oh man, he just gets completely caught out. Vanyi just swinging by in the vehicle, cleans him up. They must have known the position, or at least had some sort of inkling, some idea that there might be somebody lurking in that dip. As Unicorn Phoenix, they're up to 4 kills so far. They've 4 kills behind Fury, so they're definitely in with a good chance of at least reclaiming a top 3. And they're only 5 kills away from Seiryu, so if they can make it another good game, like we know that they're capable of having, another high fragging game, second place is open for the taking.
Yeah, I just saw that little overview, that little flying up in the high in the sky, and one thing that sort of highlighted there is I think Eagle365 in a bit of a pickle. Being United have actually maybe got them sort of gate kept on the edge of the blue here, and it looks as if that is indeed the case. They're quite literally fighting inside of the blue. It has enveloped both of the teams, but it is Eagle365 coming out second best here. Being United are definitely cleaning up. Got to be careful, though, because they are getting third-partied from a distance. Nice nade to finish off from Simon T. That sends Eagle365 out in 10th position. Sharper still from the top of this mountain, trying to third-party, get some tags, find some kills. They've been able to be somewhat successful thus far. For phase 6, though, we do actually move away from the south side of this mountain, which is a first. We're actually going to play on the west side now, which is great for BN United, UNP, but it's sharper now. That compound is on the edge of the east. If you secure that compound late in the game, it means that teams won't be able to come in from behind you, and you can play off the height of the mountain for a little bit longer.
Maybe that's why we're seeing Unicorn Phoenix at the top of the percentage chance of winning the game so far. It's interesting to see both them and Bao because a lot of it is going to rest on who can win the fight for the western side of the zone. Fury making a bit of a wrap towards the southern side, and there's 3 teams down here that they can look to try and farm, but oh man, that grenade from God knew from range as well. Belmoth will finally get put down. Zest with an AWM to find the headshot. I mean, Belmoth has just been a complete tyrant in this lobby. He was eventually going to run out of bullets. He had about 17 left, but you know what? If he can get dropped out by the AWM, then that's going to be a huge, huge boost for BN United. Now this push for Cerberus to try and defend themselves against Game Home, but just up the hill beyond them is that 2-man of Made in Thailand who found himself a little bit of a corner to hide in, and whoever walks away as the winners of this fight might just find themselves instantly losing out as well.
Cerberus is not using their high ground right now. They're too busy going for the revival to Sololzi. This meant that Game Home and been able to just sort of creep up onto this position. Oh no, Ronon, speaking of crept up, and Stuckman's right behind him. Game Home can push up right onto Cerberus. Spray from Fat pretty good. Got the knock, but he is very, very low. Solozzi, the last one left, he's gone as well. Game Home, that little push, successful. Cerberus just caught napping a little bit too slow with getting that revive and taking use of the position that they had. Zest, down to 7 bullets remaining in the Orm. He already got that one knocked onto Belmoth. Another one means he'll bleed out pretty quickly.
Maybe that's why sSuspekT is just nearby, just in case another knock does come through, that he can get on the revive quickly with a just underhanded smoke. Fury, I think Ronon was pushing forwards. He knew that the push was coming from Game Home and Cerberus, so wanted to get involved, but Made in Thailand completely caught him off guard. He just drops down, donates them the kill point directly in front of them, and that will hurt their chances a little bit of making this, converting it into that second win, but they're still capable of picking up at least a few of the frags. There's still Game Home, they're still Made in Thailand that have to make a move to get in on the southern side of the zone, and AAA might just alleviate some of that pressure that they were under from Sharper as well with this push that they're making.
Sharper will have that high ground. Where you can see them on the map, they are by far and away at the top. So attack all around. Fury, they're kind of playing from below, trying to climb this hill. It's never fun. And unfortunately for Fury, down to just inside, back-to-back chicken dinners, virtually impossible now. Gloom's just going to clean up as well, along with Janku. So that's Fury out in 8th. Attack all around, using their somewhat high ground to, of course, clean up the rest of these teams. But at some point, Saga begs the question, how are they going to go up against Seiryu Esports? I guess for the most part, they've been able to get somewhat of an even level here at this position. So full credit, I guess Sharper just not quite being as aggressive with denying teams the ability to get up on this eastern portion.
Yeah, they've definitely been turning their attention towards the south and the western side, looking to pick up kill points where they can. They've actually now closed the gap a little bit on 31 kills, so not too far to go. That's a long-range spray as well with the barrel 3x from YongB. This man has, well, you know what? He can do the damage as well from distance, MK or not, and that is going to be down to a single solo for Game Home. He will be able to at least make the run for now, and Zest over the top gets a little ambitious with the peak. 3007 will drop him before he gets a chance to secure the flush, though. YongB is there with the revive, and now he's playing a bit of that Made in Thailand role. He's hugging the wall, and Sharper, they've got 2 still over in the compound, so it's a 2 versus 4 for attack all around, and the utility flying in the direction of Belmoth and sSuspekT could flush them out of this position.
They trade up north, just chilling at the moment. They've got 3 players. It's Unicorn Phoenix, though, who have still got all 4 players up. The only other team with 4 is attack all around, and they're going to have to be attacking pretty soon against Sharper, Escalusia, 3007 as well. This is a very congested sort of southeastern part of the circle compared to, say, the western side. Nades continue to just fly around, both smoke grenades and probably mollies as well. Nice knockdown, though, from Escalusia onto Jayas. Now, can Sharper, though, bank off of this? Janku pushes up. He gets that kill onto sSuspekT. Escalusia still just being a pain, though. They don't even know where they're getting shot from at this point. Now they do. Glooms, though, he loses that fight as well. They just continue to get forced back. Finally, some tags onto Escalusia, but too little too late. Belmoth goes down to Zest. Escalusia has been a massive pain for both teams from Made in Thailand.
That's a full commitment from Zest to secure the flush on Belmoth. Did not want any sort of chance of that kill point getting away. Headshots him with the AWM. He's got to only have 1 or 2 bullets left in that thing now. And really, there's no bodies nearby for him to loot. He's got 1 bullet. 1 shot left with the AWM. He has to make that count because he's not getting a DMR, so it's all just down to the M4 and the grenades once this one has gone, and he might have to use that to turn his attention to Unicorn Phoenix because they are pressured so hard on the southwestern side of phase number 8. Still 7 teams alive as we head into phase 8. That is a lot of players and a lot of angles to be worried about.
One thing to note, though, that I really want to sort of preface here is 8 kills for BN United. They've already got 3 wins. They really do not need any more. But getting the kills even just further solidifies that 3-win margin, that in the event that one of the teams that say on 1 win already finds another win, then finds another one, that at least their kills can still sort of stack up. It's not like they're on 20 kills, that if a team does find 2 wins, they will immediately go into top spot. So some really important kills from BN United this match in particular, just to further solidify that top spot with their 3 wins, of course, already in the bank. 55 seconds until phase 9, and as you already mentioned, Saga, 1 final shot in that Orm, but he does have the M416 loaded and ready to go, which is probably going to be very very impactful late into the game as teams converge onto each other. Gloom's knocked down by Maximus. Attack all around, down to just Janku and Gems. Escalucia somehow just continues to find kills and damage and be that nuisance despite his pretty unfavorable position. He gets tagged up by Simon T, but he can heal up. Now it's going to be the underarm nade from Simon. It's the only one he's got. Escalucia almost walks straight into it. He can actually catch him, and he gets the headshot knockdown. Can he get any more, though? Only one final first aid kit. It's been a tremendous effort from the solo player of Made in Thailand, and he just watches as teams around him continue to die. He's made it into the top 5, got the kill onto Simon. He still continues.
How does he keep getting away with this? Single-digit hit points so many times, and he's still got enough bullets left, but there's no assistance coming in from AAA. They're dealing with their own problems of day trade. If they were still up on that ridge, they could have maybe helped him out a little bit, but BN United up to 9 kills. They lost Simon T, though. He secured the flush, which could turn out to be huge. We're now down to 2 players apiece, with every team other than Unicorn Phoenix with the flush of Venotica being secured by Jankirov. Pucheo's just over the ridge. Could catch them out here with a cheeky peek over the top, but Jankirov again in the close range battle. That M4 Nurins has to turn his attention, and there's nothing he can do before Gems takes him out.
It's a 2 versus 4 versus 2. The 4, though, of Unicorn Phoenix. Only the 4 kills. I kind of anticipated they would maybe find some kills late into the game. I did mention earlier, probably about 10 minutes ago, that they had the 4 players alive. This is where they can do the damage, and they're going to do just that. Now it's all about executing cleanly here. They get Gems. That's at least now 1 team down to 1 player to solo. They've got to still deal with Baonam United's duo, the nade onto Van, just short. If that had been a knock, who knows? He could have played off of that, but Young B, I think, gets caught coming out of that smoke, and he does, and he goes down. Attack all around, down to just Janku. Zest doesn't have many bullets in that M416, and it don't matter, though.